New tonight, there is more fallout within the Oxford School District less than a year after Michigan's deadliest school shooting. The school board president, Tom Donnelly, resigning 2 years before his term was set to expire. Donnelly and his 7-member school board came under fire when they refused to hire a third-party review of what happened the day of the shooting. They then changed their mind after getting backlash from both parents and also Michigan's Attorney General. Florida State Attorney Dave Aronberg following this case from the very beginning for us. Dave, thank you for being with us yet again tonight. Optics of this move, resignation?
Yeah, Marty, good to be back with you. You know, this is stemming from a lack of transparency. That's why there was such outrage. And, you know, it's sad it had to come to this. You would think the one thing that everyone can agree upon is there needs to be a full and fair investigation of what went on and the decisions that were made that led to that horrific tragedy. But there was stonewalling and a lack of transparency, and now you see a resignation. It didn't have to come to this.
The other thing, Dave, is there is little physical evidence that has been made public. You think of Uvalde and how much we were shown after that tragedy in Texas, video from inside the hallway. We have yet to see anything publicly from inside Oxford High School. Why hasn't that come out yet?
You know, I think the ostensible reason is because they claim, first, they're doing an investigation, and that while that's pending, they can't release it. But I think also they're just worried about lawsuits, that there are a lot of civil lawsuits out there, and I think they just don't want to give more grist to them. But it's a bad look. I mean, look, they should be able to reveal something. I mean, the parents have suffered enough. This is making them victims another time. And so you would hope that elected officials in a community that endured such an awful tragedy would at least do the minimum, which is to be transparent as much as possible. I know there are pending investigations. I know there are pending lawsuits, but it doesn't mean you have to clam up entirely and prevent victims' families from knowing something.
And it may not be until trial that the public sees that video. But, Dave, the judge did say that the families should see it and they should not have to wait until the trial. How does all of this, especially the resignation of the school board president, impact the civil cases against the district?
Well, I don't think I'll have a big impact on the civil cases. I do think that the families have a good claim on a civil basis. First, you only need to prove civil cases on a preponderance of the evidence. That's much lower than beyond any reasonable doubt, which is how you have to prove a criminal case. And you only need to prove simple negligence, which is a violation of a duty of care. Now, the problem for the parents is to get over the sovereign immunity that the governmental bodies have, and that's something that's going to be worked through the courts. That's the real challenge. Now, on the criminal side, Marnie, I still don't know charges filed against the school employees, anyone besides the Crumley parents and Crumley, the shooter himself.
Okay, I want to talk about the parents here in just a moment, but you brought up sovereign immunity, so government immunity. The attorney for the families wants to do away with that, right? They want transparency, they want accountability. How hard will it be to win that fight?
It's tough. You've got to show more than just negligence to get past sovereign immunity. You got to show like there was some real wrongdoing here and that people acted out of the scope of their jobs, because generally you get a lot of deference when you're a government employee. You know, you don't want government employees to be sued based on mistakes they make in their jobs. But when they go beyond their jobs or do something so egregious, like, for example, if they had reason to believe that this kid wanted to shoot up a school, after all, he was drawing that, and they didn't even ask to search his book bag, they didn't require the parents to take him home that day, and in fact, they just say, hey, within 48 hours, you need to get him counseling. That's the kind of stuff that could lead a court to pierce the sovereign immunity, but it's going to be up to a judge.
Finally, Dave, the trial for the parents of Ethan Crumley, we just showed their faces on the screen. They're both charged with involuntary manslaughter for the red flags leading up to the shooting. Their attorneys are concerned, at least voicing their concern to the judge, about a fair trial, an impartial jury if they stay in that area. Is that a valid request? Do you think that the judge will grant that? And what should we be watching for as they face a judge and jury?
Marnie, I've had a lot of big-time trials with a lot of publicity in our circuit here, in our area, and we've always been able to find a jury. And that's because you don't need jurors to be a blank slate. They can hear and know some stuff about the case. The question is, can they be fair and impartial? Can they set aside any biases they have. So you can find a fair and impartial jury anywhere you go. But in the end, the court may, because the tie goes to the defendant, they may try, in the interest of caution so they don't get overturned on appeal, try to move this case elsewhere. But make no mistake, as a prosecutor, we know that there could be a fair jury in that jurisdiction, and it doesn't need to be moved.
Ethan Crumley's trial appears will be first, followed by his parents. Dave Aronberg, as always, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.